Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and today we're taking a look at a very special figure from the Takara Legends line. This is God Bomber. God Bomber was actually from the original Takara Transformers series, Master Force, and was basically power-up armor for Super Jinrai. Yes, this figure will combine with the previously released Super Jinrai figure, as we all know. Now, I'm going to forego with my usual order of transformation, and I'm basically going to get into the combination with Super Jinrai. That's what we're all here for, and then we'll just go ahead and do a traditional review. First thing you want to do is go ahead and remove the shoulder cannon here. I think it's called the God Missile. And there's a little bit you have to do with it. First, what you want to do is remove the blade that's underneath, stores underneath there. Then what you want to do is pop out the front of the missile. It frictions in, detach it from this black piece, slot it back into place. We'll put that aside for now. And then these two pieces, there's a little tab on the blade that will fit into a slot on the handle, and this forms the sword that God Bomber comes with. It's used a little bit in the comic, but in terms of the cartoon, God Jinrai at one point uses this to fight Overlord, or Thesaurus in Victory. I honestly am not too familiar with the Japanese lines, but it is nice that it's included, and it is a very nice sword that I hope might get reused with other figures down the line. Okay, the next step, just a little bit out of order to make lives a little easier, is you just want to come in and take the helmet off. Yes, the helmet is not attached, and remove the head. We'll put those aside as well. Don't worry, everything will store to some extent on the God Jinrai mode. It'll be kind of interesting how it gets done, believe it or not. So, first you can do is spread the arms out a little. Then what you'll do is come into the right above the knee, slide the legs out. Yes, that is the Combiner Wars, Unite Warriors attachment points. I think that's really cool that they're using them. They are really some of the best connection points that Hasbro Takara have come out with, and I'm very happy to see them used. Now, the next step, what you want to do, and you'll do this with each leg, is go ahead, flip the heel piece, what was God Bomber's foot in, rotate this around, flip what will be God Jinrai's foot down, and just leave it like that. Put it off to the side. We'll get to that in a moment. Same on with this figure. Oh, sorry, you don't want to flip that part up yet. The wheels will be on the outside. Next, what you're going to come in and do is remove the arms. Basically, you just open up these panels here, and they just very loosely tab into place. So, go ahead, open up these panels. This section right here is on a double hinge. You do want to make sure that you do have that flat. And then just come in and tuck the thumb in and flip the hand up. That's one forearm guard. Do the same thing on the other arm. Like I said, they do come off very easily. Just make sure you have everything out and flat. Flip the hand in just like so, and get that off to the side. That leaves the torso. Oh boy, there's a lot going on here. If you remember the original God Bomber, God Jinrai combination, everything, basically God Bomber just came apart. The torso, was actually like two different pieces, and all the wings came off. That doesn't do that And unfortunately, because of this, you cannot do the God Breaster mode, which was basically just the chest plate with the wings pegged into the arms. It wasn't, I don't think it was shown that much in the cartoon, but what have you. Okay, sorry about that little jump. Just want to check a few things before continuing. Okay, so first thing you want to do here with the torso is turn it around. This will be the chest of God Jinrai. Go ahead, open up these panels, just enough so that you can unconnect those tabs. You know, spoiler alert for later in the review, just moving the arms around, you will pop these. Next up, what you want to do is separate the chest and bring it out, just like so, including these little red bits, but you'll have to move those around in just a moment. One thing the instructions don't really mention that well is this little panel here is where the headmaster plugs in. This has to be rotated up and down, and in doing so, for whatever reason, it always has this need to clip into place. The next step is you want to close this back up a little, rotate the arms and wings around, bring it down ever so slightly, opening up that section. There are little tabs here that will tab into the inside of the arm panels there. That is supposed to sort of hold everything into place, and it works, kinda. The next step is you want to come along, turn this back around to the God Bomber chest, and this does split open, and you just want to go ahead and rotate everything around just like that. Then while you're here, just come back around and bring the wings back out to the side. So you basically have a horrible mess that looks like this. Next, what you want to do is rotate the arms inward, bend the elbows down. There are a couple tabs and slots that will peg everything together. Once that's done, you want to come in and just push it down, swing it down, just like so. And then finally come up and rotate the legs up. And now you basically have the chest ready to go and combine with Super Jinrai. That took me about 3 takes to get right. A lot of this, like the folding section, because basically there's multiple hinges here, especially between the wings and the arms. But that's done, so I will now bring in Super Jinrai and show you how to prepare that figure. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I just removed all of Jinrai's weapons, Super Jinrai's weapons. What you want to do then is come around, bring this panel down, and slide the fist out and down on each side. That's actually all you have to do. So we'll start the combination sequence. We'll bring the feet in. Basically, we'll come around the back here. Oop. Try not to break the figure more. Get the arms out of the way. Just make sure, you know, do whatever feels comfortable for you in terms of getting things out of the way. Basically, the way this works is this red clip where my finger is will snap into that blue section, while that red clip in the middle will fit in that groove. And then just go ahead, bring up the combiner joint, and just, it'll fit in. That's the one leg. Flip up the heel. Did I forget to mention to flip up the heel? And repeat the process on this side, just like so. And yeah, he done gone big. So we're gonna have to bring the focus up now to the chest. Don't worry. Let me adjust my lights here so we get the proper visage. And I will fix up the articulate, you know, the posing and stuff. I mean, I'll tell you right now, he's going to be a brick. There's just no nice way of putting it. He's going to be a brick. So, you take the arm guards. Basically, you want the this grill piece facing up. There's a peg right there that will post into the forearm there. Bring that one side down. Now, this is the important part. Oh, that can rotate. See the double hinge? You just want to fold it on that one hinge, and then around the back here. I'm just rotating the arm just to show you. Close that up. Bring that panel back up. You have a God Fist. Come around on this side. We're going to do the same exact thing. Grab the piece, and again, little hole right there will fit in the tab. Flip the side down. That, rotate it, you know, you can rotate the figure if you want. I'm just doing it just to minimize the motion. There you go. And let me just show you that you do fold that other panel down. So basically you have the God Fists in place. Now, how am I going to show you the chest? I am going to do something very, very bad. We're going to bend him forward at the hips here just so I can point a few things out. And that's going to be the blue tabs here that secure the cab in vehicle mode. Basically, you're going to use them right here on the chest. What will be the chest piece right there in those little angled pieces, there and there, are slots. So we're just going to slide this whole thing over. If you would like to pray to a deity, that would be most helpful, because yes, this is not that easy to do. And it'll and just I wonder if bending this forward was okay. There we go. We got one. And we got two. All right. Come back here and freaking attach those arms together. You do want them to be together. Just like that. Bring that down. While we're back here, you know what? No, because I want to make sure I get this chest on right. Bring this down. This will all just slot down into over the grill of God Jinrai. Let's bring it back up a little. Bring the cod piece down. And this is actually Jinrai done, so bringing the back panel around, like I said, everything stores. Here's the helmet of God Bomber. There are little slots here on the side. See those two notches? This will hold the helmet, so just go ahead and somehow slot it in. There we go. It's not the best hold, but it'll work. Next, what you want to do is, you see those two tabs right back here? Basically, the blasters, that's what they fit into. Let me adjust the camera ever so slightly so you can get a better look. I found it easier to do this one first. Unfortunately, it's painted plastic on painted plastic. That does make an issue. Oh, you know what? Oh boy. And it is a very tight fit to get these on. I'm not gonna lie, if you see me struggling, yes. Okay, well, I did get the guns on. I really just had to peg them in. They do take a little bit of force. Now we're just going to finish things off. And I do want to apologize for any jumpiness. Unfortunately, having some camera issues, but hopefully it's not that bad with the edit. But basically, if you remember the original God Jinrai toy, you just plug the shoulder guns now into the feet and ankles of Jinrai. And the last bit, we're going to have the last two bits, we'll just come back up here, focus on the torsos, and don't worry, I will adjust things so we get a better view. There is a little port. You want to just slot the shoulder gun in there, and then yeah, we'll have some fun and give Jinrai the sword. The sword just slots right into the hand, just like so. And yeah, it is a bit of a beast, and it is also very top heavy. But I'm going to pause right now and fix them up into a more presentable way that we can see a bit more of them, and I can talk more about the figure. This is the best I can do in terms of getting God Jinrai all in one shot. It is a very large figure now, and you do get to see the head. You might also notice that I have him bent a little weird with the knees. This is the most, if you notice, this is sort of like how he's posed on the box, and you really have to do this to, well, balance the weight out. It is a nice dynamic pose, but I have tried getting him just to stand naturally in a neutral position, and the backpack does come forward. The elbows can still bend, head can still turn. Thankfully, you still have Super Jinrai's ankles, which do help with the articulation, and the larger feet do give it a stronger base. Other than that, though, one thing I am a little disappointed about is this cannon is a little, the connection there is a little bit on the floppy side. So it ends up angling further down than I really would like it to. But, I mean, this is God Jinrai. Any little problems, you saw the difficulties I had combining the figure, I think are more due to Takara having to work within the limitations of Super Jinrai being a retool. I mean, let's not forget, it was originally the Ultra Magnus mold, and they had to retool it to make it, you know, look different from Power Master Optimus Prime, and more like Super Jinrai. So there are some things they changed, but there are some things they couldn't, and they had to work around that and basically design God Bomber to work within that. If this was an entirely new mold, both God Bomber and Super Jinrai, I think it might work a little bit better. But that, we'll have to wait for a masterpiece figure. So, with that being said, let's pause. Let me get God Bomber back to its base state, and we can look at the figure proper. Okay, so here's God Bomber in its vehicle mode. Just a few things to point out before we continue. Right here on the front, there is a little connection latch that, for if you want Super Jinrai to tow God Bomber, you just flip this out, open up the back and squeeze it in between the opening in the feet. I don't really think many people are going to do that, and Super Jinrai is a bit fiddly to transform. To complete God Bomber out of packaging, and this is something they do show you in the instructions, there's a few steps that involve the sword and the shoulder rocket. First thing you want to do is remove the missile tip that is separate in the packaging, and you do want to disassemble the sword again. First thing you want to do is with the tip, and basically this little nub on the that sticks out for where the blade plugs in, that's going to go into the bottom of the cannon. So you want that little open groove right there sticking out. That will now slide back into the gun. This is how you store the grip of the sword, and then you just come in, slide the blade in underneath, and then finally the helmet of God Bomber. This is really cool. There's a little peg hole here on the back of the helmet that will peg in, and there's some tabs, and that basically completes the shoulder rocket. You'll notice here on the bottom there are some grooves, and deep inside, right there in that blue section, are two tabs that basically this will friction into, if I can get it to work properly. There we go. And that's in. As I mentioned before, the little lifting of the missile is a little wobbly. Now, what can you do with the Titan Master? Well, I forgot to mention this in Super Jinrai mode, but you can, of course, store it in the missile battery. Basically, what you need to remove the helmet first, and you can have it sit upright here, and it will actually close. A lot of people I've been seeing lay the figure down. You don't have to do that. I really don't know. It's very loose that way to try and do it. Alright. The main way, really, is you come in the front here and open up this chest cavity, just like so, and there's seating for 3 Titan Masters. Just come in like that. You will peg in using the heel spur. It should peg in using the heel spur. Oh. Well, unfortunately, it, for some reason, is giving me a hard time. And you just notice I knocked something loose, which means everything has come loose now on God Bomber. So, you know what? We're just going to close that up. It was pegging in fine before. I don't know what's going on. But you can fit 3 Titan Masters in there. So, I think for the first step, we're actually going to go into its base mode. And to do that, you want to come around the back here and bring the back, which are the feet, down, out of the way. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and swing these side panels back. Even though, everything, if you get everything together right, God Bomber does sit together rather nicely. The next step is, and it's a little unclear, first what I would suggest doing is unpegging the legs. And then you're going to slide them out off of their tracks. Just like so. And basically what you're going to do is rotate the connection joint down and away, and flip the foot up, turn it sideways, open it up like that. So we'll just do it again a little more quickly on this one, just like so. Put them off to the side, come back to the main torso here. And hopefully not everything's floppy. You want to just come in underneath and flip around the front catch there. And what you're going to do is basically the way the legs connect to the main body is you'll see there are two clips on the wings. Fold the wings out, and you know there's a small indentation there that will clip into that smaller clip, and then the larger clip will sort of clip on to that section where my finger is. And it is a little tricky to do. Like I said, that gun does not like to stay attached. And it helps if you're doing it. Oh boy. And oh, did I mention that the arms like to pop off? Yeah, that's one of the fun parts of this figure. So there you go. Got it in on that side. And you want to come around, do the same on this side. Just make sure I got everything lined up. You're just getting those clips in. There you go. And you have that. Now, it's actually kind of good that the cannon fell off, because there is something fun you can do. Remove the helmet, rotate it around, open up the barrel, and basically now you have the little spot for the Titan Master to sit in, just like so. But the helmet has some grooves to actually get a Titan Master to sort of stand in there. It's supposed to hold it securely. Unfortunately, really doesn't work well with mine. Let's come back in here, get that back into place. Of course, come in, open up that front section. The Titan Master can actually sit down here. There's a groove there that will hold it. Oh, helps if I show you. Can hold it in place. It can actually sit in these sections right here. So you actually have a lot of spots on the base mode here where you can put a Titan Master. Unfortunately, as you can see, it is a little floppy, and the wing gun, the arms have these little fin guns that you can flip up. It's fun. It's not a mode I see myself using a lot. So we'll pause here. Let me get back into vehicle mode, and then we'll go ahead and get into the robot transformation. Okay, one of the nice things about God Bomber is he does not have to parts form to transform, with the exception of you do need to come in and remove the weapon. Now, to get into robot mode, the first thing you want to do is come around the back, go ahead and bring the what will be the robot feet down and around. And while you're back here, go ahead and just bring the wings out flat, just like that. Come back around the front, and the wings, the arms I should say, do like sort of friction into that front paneling area. And well, like I said, they do like to come off, so you guys gotta peg them back on, just like showed you before with Jinrai. Here we go, just like that, and there we go. And do it on this side as well. Will this side be a pain? No. Okay, that's good. So we got the arms up. Come on in. Flip out the hands. You can open that up if it'll help. Get the hands out. Hands up, baby, hands up. Sorry. It's a little late by me. I'm trying to get this done. just go ahead, close those panels up, and go ahead and just close up those panels now. They have you do it later in the instructions, and I really don't understand why. When you're doing that, grab the shoulder here and rotate the wings back. This is one of the problems I have with the figure, which really isn't that bad, but it's basically you have a swivel for the arm and a swivel for the wings, and most of the time you just move one, you end up moving the other. Okay, so the next step is you just want to come out and open up and fold the arms out just wide enough so you can bring up what will be the back section, which they will peg into. And to do that, you want to come down here, open up these panels just like so, and then bring the chest up, or I should say the back section up, and this will just everything will friction into place. And before you do that, you do want to remember to flip up the port where the headmaster is gonna, connect, because you kind of need to do that. And then when that is done, come in and close up the arms, pegging them into the chest there. Now, with all that done, come in and swing out the lower body like so. Flip the blue parts back. That will free up the black feet. And then stand God Bomber up. If the legs haven't already, separate them. Bring the arms down. And I gotta admit, the ratchet joints, they're part of the problem with things falling apart. Oop. And then finally, we can bring in the Titan Master. Interesting little fellow. Nice paint job. What you want to do is just fold them down. Pegs in fairly easy. One of the easiest things to do on this figure. Just like so. But we're not done. Pull off the helmet from the back of the shoulder cannon and just drop it on down. Just like so. Let me adjust the camera ever so slightly, because, God Bomber does get big. Make sure it's standing up more. Give it a little click there so you can see the face. Yeah, like I said, these ratchets do tend to be a problem. And then finally, the tab here will go into the shoulder cannon right there. And there you have transformed, ready to roll God Bomber. Let me just yeah, like I said, the ratchet joints do make this a bit of a problem. So, and he is a big guy, as you can see. I have to really push him back to the farthest reach of my display base to get close to being full in shot. Head can rotate. You get some waggle from the Titan Master joint. As you saw, the arms are on a going lateral out, or a ratchet. The elbow bend is just a soft swivel, which sometimes is a little bit loose. Ratchet in the hips, ratchet in the knees, and there is a little bit of ankle articulation, so you can get some, normal stances. And I'll bring them in real quick since people prefer size comparisons. The figure is as tall as Super Jinrai, so that basically means it is a leader class figure. Sorry about that, I didn't realize the camera was going to do that. Other than that, you can give it the sword if you want. We did see the sword earlier. And what's nice is there is some articulation with the hands. You can bring the thumb up, and the hands can move in and out. So, yep, let's pause for a moment, and we'll take a look at, I'll give you my final thoughts on the whole thing. I do appreciate the patience tonight with all of you who have watched this review. It was not a fun review to film. The figure's very fiddly. If you don't have Super Jinrai, no reason to buy God Bomber. If you want them, there's a set coming in November. Wait for that. Chrome, extra headmasters, fun. It's a cool figure, but the transformation is very fiddly, and you do have loose joints. That elbow can't even bend holding the sword. I do appreciate you watching. This is your old pal Chuck for God Bomber. We will see you next time.